Hello, good evening. It is Thursday. It is time for Debt-Free Life. Man, I'm excited to be back. Last week, it was my husband's birthday, so I got to spend some time celebrating him with our families. But super pumped to be here, share again about Debt-Free Life. Man, just been able to help so many people, see so many people get started with their Debt-Free Life program, and man, we're just getting started. So we got some people here in the waiting room going to join us tonight. Super excited to have them on board. Welcome, welcome. Glad that you guys are here. All right, and we'll just wait for Jordan, and then we'll get started. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. And here is the lovely co-host, Jordan. All right, just getting in here. And so we'll push this to Facebook here in just a second. Hey, Jordan. So I'll just introduce myself real quick. And Jordan, while you do introductions, I will make sure everything gets posted to Facebook.
Oh my gosh. I'm so happy we have people on here.
I know. Isn't that awesome? I love it. So my name is Betsy Barr. I live here in Knoxville, Tennessee with my husband and our two boys, Nate and John Allen. And we had lived overseas and came back to America and had to kind of start over. And Debt-Free Life just made a huge impact on us in terms of now we're financially secure for our future. So that's a big deal because, you know, we want to make sure our kids can, like, you know, eat and live and all that fun stuff. But we just bought a house over the summer. And because of Debt-Free Life, we're going to pay it off in 8.5 years. I mean, that's part of why I get super excited, just because of what it's done for me and my family. But just getting to see the impact that it has on so many people every single week, I get more excited about it all the time. So anyways, that's me. That's why I'm passionate about Debt-Free Life. So I'm going to get this pushed out to Facebook. And Jordan, why don't you take it over and introduce yourself?
Yeah, no, I love this. Hey, look, it's Rich. What's up, man? And so my name is Jordan Gillum. I also live out here with my husband in Knoxville. We're actually in Seymour, which is basically South Knoxville. So if you want to consider across the United States, Betsy and I are basically neighbors. And I'm very happy to be so. I'm very happy to be a part of Symmetry Financial Group, and, you know, and what this has done for my own family, my own marriage. And, you know, it's just been a spectacular journey developing our business and such. And then they did this, and then they brought in Debt-Free Life. And I just remember the day that they told us all that we were going to be able to offer a product that can help a family get out of debt in 9 years or less without spending additional money. The room fell quiet with just like, are you serious? Like, are you, if you're a Christmas Vacation fan, you know what I mean? The National Lampoon, and he's like, are you serious, Clark? Like, that's the level of, like, we were all couldn't believe our ears. And then we attended the meeting so that we could get certified to do this. And just hand over hand, it's, excuse me, it is literally a life-changing. You can enrich your life, not just, you know, we normally offer life insurance, so somebody has to die for it to be of a benefit. You know what I mean? This is something a family can use to make their life better, to have a debt-free life. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of it. So grateful that, you know, Betsy and I came together pre-COVID, literally right before, to start doing stuff and sharing this product. And I really look forward to doing it again every single Wednesday. And I really want, or Thursday, excuse me. And I do want to apologize. We had technical difficulties last week, hence why the video wasn't up last week. I did do it, but it only recorded about 1 minute and 15 seconds of it. So it's normally about 30 minutes long. We'll keep it as brief as need be today. And we're just really excited about getting to bring this to you guys. So Betsy, why don't you kick us off? Why don't you kick this thing off?
Let's do it. All right. It says it's streaming, so we're gonna give it a go. Let me get our PowerPoint shared here. But yeah, so we are here. We're going to be talking about Debt-Free Life. And so Jordan already kind of started us off with the first question, or with first two questions here. Are you 100% confident in your current retirement plan? Like, you know you're going to be fine for your retirement. Most people that we talk to cannot say that they're 100% confident. And then secondly, what if you could eliminate debt in 9 years or less without spending any additional money? And we take that part really seriously because we know that people don't just have a ton of extra money laying around. or they probably wouldn't be in debt anyways. I know that's how it was for us. So we really work with families on, hey, what are you already spending, and are there ways that we could really maximize those resources for your benefit? And so what do we do with Debt Free Life? We teach you how to reduce the interest that you're paying to lenders, how to erase your debt in 9 years or less, decrease your taxes, improve your cash flow, save money, and then boom, retire with tax favored income, which is super, super exciting. All right, and then what do we have next? We have growing empires through compounding interest. All right, now my background is actually as a math teacher. And so I'm a little bit of a math nerd. So sometimes that works because people love numbers and they want to talk about it. And other times they're like, what are you talking about? So, but what I love about this is, number one, okay, it uses a lot of math. So I get to kind of nerd it out sometimes. But number two, this is something that is not new. So it's not something, Jordan mentioned that our company rolled it out. And so it's not something that our company came up with. It's not something that we came up with on our own. This is something that has been used for over 200 years. I mean, so this is something that is legit. It's been working for the wealthy in our society for many, many, many years. Like I said, over 2 centuries. Some examples are here. Walt Disney. He used his Debt-Free Life type product to start Walt Disney World. Doris Christopher with the Pampered Chef. Ray Kroc, he started the second and third McDonald's stores using his Debt-Free Life product because no one would give him a loan for that. So anyways, this is something that people have been using for a while, but now we just get to offer it to like the average American family. I'm not one of these super wealthy people. I was a teacher. My husband is in the ministry. Like, having lots of finances and just like resources at our disposal was not something that was ever part of what we expected for our life. So this has really just changed the way that our family functions. So that's part of just why I get so excited about it. So Jordan, lay some knowledge on us.
For sure. Yeah. And pardon my cough. I've just been talking a whole lot recently. So pardon me if my voice gets a little harsh. But yes, what we like to do to kick this off is, we like to explain the back psychology behind why debt-free life is the smartest way to get out of debt. And it starts with having some knowledge that normally isn't commonly put in front of us, because why would it be? We're gonna find out that it would not be to the bank's benefit for us to know the things that we're about to talk about. So here we go. Knowledge only becomes power when you apply it. Let's talk about the super cute game called The Journey Through Life. I love the fact that someone in tiny letters wrote the life of the average American, like underneath it. Like, that's funny, because in the game of life, the more kids you have, the more money you have when you retire, right? Wrong. That is not how the actual game of life for the average American is. So basically, I remember being in high school and all the kids around me had prepaid debit cards and credit cards already. And I was like, I don't know how you got that, because my family's credit was not that good. But aside from that, it was to help them start building credit so that they could move forward in life with lower interest rates, because getting loans was something that your parents are already starting to put into your head when you're in high school. Because, if you want to not pay, $300 a month for your first beater car, you got to have some pretty decent credit. You know what I mean? Because, there's a slim to none chance, and if you do, high five, but that you have the cash to buy your first car when you're in high school. And if you do, you're definitely in the 5%ers of the world, but, a lot of people don't. So when they go to get their first car, then they're going to take on another loan. And then whenever they are, because they need a car to get to their job, to pay off the loan that they have for their car. And then they go to college to get a better job, which also costs more money. So basically our journey through life is just acquiring debt. Now let's take a look at what's happened. So 2019, basically by the end of 2019, that is not with what has happened this year, which none of us saw coming. America is at $13.6 trillion in total debt. That's a lot, but let's talk about how it affects the average American, right? So the average American's household debt is 250 grand. That in and of itself should blow your mind. I mean, obviously, we don't talk about that. Nobody talks about that. Why? Because it hurts. It's stressful. Why would we take whatever's sitting on our shoulders and just try to put it in front of our face? Why would we do that? And the only reason why we would do that is if we had a solution for it, because we don't want to focus on our problems, right? So let's talk, though, about how common it is for the average American to have 250 grand debt. And like Betsy said, we like to show people a smarter way to do it. And if you had a bunch of money sitting in the bank account, I promise you wouldn't be as much in debt as what we're seeing here. I mean, these people want to get out of debt, but they can't. Why? Because 74 cents of every single dollar is going to interest and taxes alone. That is crazy, but it's true because of how we're conditioned. And we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But let's look at what the average American household could look like with debt-free life.
That's right.
Boom, out of debt. Zero debt whatsoever. You're still going to have to pay interest and taxes in your lifetime. You know, I mean, when Betsy was saying decrease the taxes you pay, it wasn't because we're trying to hide you from Uncle Sam. That is not what we're trying to do here. But still, this is all legal. You know what I mean? It's just 52 cents of every dollar is going towards taxes and interest. And you have so much more. You have almost double the amount of money at your disposals for your lifestyle and your savings without the debt on your back. That is what an average household would look like with Debt-Free Life, our Debt-Free Life program. Let's keep going. So here's another one. Here's some more knowledge that nobody wants to talk about. Did you know that the average American, by the time they reach 65 years old, will have $2 million run through these two fingers? Right here, $2 million they will have touched, they've had in their account. But when they go to retire, the average American has 60 grand in funds. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that does not envision, that doesn't fit how I envision my retirement. Not for me. We've got big plans. Betsy and I, we do this every week. We've been doing it for every week for about 6 months now. I can't believe this. And isn't that crazy? And we talk all the time about what we see our future being. And 60 grand ain't gonna cut it. So if it doesn't fit how you guys, everybody watching, envisions their retirement, then keep listening, because that's a statistic. That's not something we just pulled out of thin air. That is real numbers. What else we got? What else? Oh, do you want to take this?
You got it, girl. You're doing great.
Okay, I'm feeling fired up because my one didn't get showed last week. So let's talk about why we all don't like talking about debt, and we're all act like it doesn't happen. And then also let's talk about why we're all conditioned to think in loan version. What kind of loans? What lower interest rate can we get? It's because compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. So let's talk about compound interest. You know, we've all been, our team has been really focusing on the compounding effects that you can have in your life if you take small, incremental, seemingly insignificant steps in a positive direction. You know, 30 years from now, you can be in a fantastic, place. But let's talk about money, because money is important. You always wonder why we think in terms of loans. It's because banks are leveraging cash flow through compound interest, right? So let's talk about what compound interest looks like in just a term of a fable. If you had $1 million today or a penny doubled for 30 days, which would you choose? A lot of people choose $1 million because they think cash and then do something with it now and instantaneous. Well, let's talk about if we provided what if we gave some patience here and allowed compound interest to work for us and then a penny being doubled for 30 days. Basically, your penny, you'd have 2 pennies to start. And by day 10, you'd have about, I think, $10. Let's see. Yeah, you have about $10 in 10 days. Now, you know, if you were sitting next to the guy who got the million in 10 days, you wouldn't be feeling too good about that decision. You'd be like, ugh, should have got the $1 million. But watch what happens to your $10 in 10 more days. Your $10 becomes $10,000. Because let's look at this on a scale. From day 11 to day 12, your 10 became 20, 20 became 40, 40 became 80, right? 5 grand becomes 10 grand. And then as we move towards 10 more days in the future, 10 grand becomes 20 grand, 20 becomes 40. And that by day 30, you've made the best decision by not picking the $1 million, because you would have $10 million at your disposal. And I would just let it sit in there. I would just be like, I'll wait another month before I touch my funds, you know? But that's what it's like being in the bank though. The bank is earning this on our money. So everyone probably, if you're watching this, you're thinking, so how do I earn compound interest? How do I do that for my family rather than the bank earn compound interest off me? So let's take a look at how debt-free life would affect debt, right? How does debt-free life help a family do just that?
Yep. All right, well, let's look here. So we're going to talk about debt. And so we want to minimize debt, because if we minimize debt, then that's how we're going to be able to create additional wealth. Okay, so this is my family.
Yay!
Mom, so I got to show their picture, the family's picture. And so just to protect our, our clients that do this, we don't include their pictures or their real names.
No.
So I just throw a picture of my family up there instead. But anyway, so this is a family that has used Debt-Free Life. We're calling them Mark and Joyce. They've got 3 kids. They're in their mid-30s. Have about $7,000 a month between them. They'd like to make $5,000 a month when they retire. And so if they were one of those average American families, that would take care of them for 1 year. Okay. And so they've got 3 kids. They don't have any college savings for them right now. In their 401k, they've got less than 100,000. And kind of as they think about their future and what they're hoping to do, their main concerns right now, we always ask, are eliminating debt, controlling spending, saving for retirement, providing for education, wills and trusts, and maximizing savings. Now, this is really important that I like to put out. We always ask people, hey, what plan do you have right now to get to where you want to be in the future? I'm an A-type personality. I love to make plans. I love to, have everything organized, know where I'm going. But sometimes, you have to create that plan. They don't just kind of happen. You have to be proactive in creating a plan. And so some people are like, well, we don't have it yet. We don't have that plan yet. So that's when I'm like, I can help you make a plan. That is something that I'm super, super passionate about. So with this particular family, we went through their financial analysis. That's one thing we do, is just kind of look at the full financial picture. What debts do you have? What assets do you have? We're not looking at just their assets, but we're looking at the full picture. Debts, assets. What are you hoping to do? What are you hoping to accomplish in your retirement? That's a big picture that we want to understand. Because if we just get one part of that, we're not able to create something that's going to be of the most benefit to you in the future. And right. So that's why we kind of look at everything. And so here we've got this family's, in particular, their debt. So they've got some credit cards, medical debt, furniture, car, mortgage. This is pretty typical for what we see. And so then if we were to ask them, hey, what's your total debt? They would say, okay, our total debt is about $180,000. And they'd say, yeah, we're paying about $2,100 per month towards our debt. All right, then what we do, we have this great software. We don't do it all by hand. So we run it through our software. And one thing we look at is we also then take into account the interest rate for each loan. And we look at, how long is each loan, because they're all going to be different time periods. But for this particular family, if they just added up all the mortgage balance, all the loan balances, it would be $180,000. But then when we looked at their real debt, so adding in all that interest, it's $380,157. So that's a big difference.
Yeah, that's over double what they thought their debt was. That's a lot.
Yeah. And so this is kind of the part where it hurts, but one thing is we can't solve a problem until we know the reality of that problem. Okay. And so, we say debt is a problem. Most families are looking at debt and it's a concern. It's a struggle that they're kind of walking through. And so here, when we say, all right, Let's look at it. Let's just kind of rip the Band-Aid off. Let's see what we're working with, because once we know what we're working with, man, then we get to turn it around, and this is the exciting part.
Let's go.
Then here we get to say, all right, it's going to take you right now about 30 years to pay off your debt. We're going to do it with Debt Free Life in 7.8 years.
Woo. Woo,
That's a big difference. That's a big difference right there. Because when I think 30 years, I think like I'm going to be retired, like that's when I'm hitting 65. That's when I'm ready to retire. 7.8 years, my kids haven't even left for college. Like that's a big difference in time. 30 years is so far out, but 7.8 years, we can see that in the future. So not only are we able to get that debt paid off sooner, we're also, because we get everything paid off sooner, you're saving so much in interest. This particular family is going to be saving $122,000 in interest.
Bang.
And so that means that all of that, every penny of that $122,000, that just stays in their bank account. It never has to go to a lender.
I love that.
That's crazy. They just get to keep it. That's just like extra. Hey, by the way.
Oh, wait, but there's more.
But there's more. That's right. So here what we do is we do like to compare, and this is supposed to say 30. My bad. I keep forgetting to change it. What we like to do is we do like to compare, and that's part of why we say, what is your current plan? And even if you say, well, I don't have like a definite plan, you're doing something. And so that's your plan. Your plan might just be, I'm going to make the minimum payments until it's all paid off.
Right.
And that's a plan. So for this particular family, that was kind of their plan. And so as we compare the debt-free year with Debt-Free Life, it's 7.8 years. With their current plan, it would be 30 years. For interest paid with Debt-Free Life, they're going to pay $77,000. With their current plan, they would pay $199,000, almost $200,000. Now, here is where the beauty of Debt-Free Life comes in, okay? Because what happens is after you have finished paying off that debt, that 7.8 years, now remember, they were paying $2,100 a month towards their debt, okay? That was just immediately going to the lenders. Now, that's $2,100. They get to decide what to do with that $2,100. They could put it back in their budget. They could put it all towards retirement. They could use to help pay for things that their kids are going to have as they keep growing up, pay for college, whatever they want to. That $2,100 a month, that's theirs. And so this comparison at the bottom here, we don't have a comparison of the current plan because they would still have to keep paying that debt payment over that time period. And so here with Debt-Free Life, after they finish paying it off, the amount that they increase in their liquidity is over $1 million. $1 million.
That's amazing.
So, and again, that's theirs to do whatever they want. So when we talked about, hey, you're going to pay less taxes, that $1 million is tax-free. It's penalty-free. You can access it anytime you want. No fees, no penalties, no taxes. This is your money, all right? 100% your money. You've got other retirement. This is just a supplement. Some people are like, oh, this is my retirement fund money. Great. I feel like you could have a lot of fun with $1 million.
Yeah. I would have to agree. I would just,
I have to agree with that.
Better than 60 grand. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's way better than 60 grand.
Yeah. Now, what I also love about Debt-Free Life, and this is part of my mathness coming in, is I love the specificness of it. Specificity. You can tell I'm not an English major. So here what we're able to do is we're able to tell you exactly to the month of the year when you're going to pay off those debts. So for instance, we're able to say, okay, in January of 2020, they were able to pay off their Visa. All right, in October of 2021, they're going to pay off their furniture. March of 2023, they'll pay off their car. And September of 2027, you're going to pay off your mortgage. All right. So these are absolute guarantees. Like we're like, oh, well, hopefully if everything goes right. No, we're talking guarantees. We're talking like this is how it will be. this is when you will do it. So I love being able to, do that for families and just not have to worry about, okay, well, I hope nothing changes and maybe this will work. Like, I wouldn't want to do that. That's not who I am. I like to be able to talk with people and say, hey, this is the plan. If we follow the plan, this is exactly how it's going to play out. And it's how it is playing out for the families that we're helping. I'm getting to help people pay off their debt. I mean, it's just so exciting to get to be able to do that. And so again, here, just over that time period of 30 years, just the money that goes back to you, to your family. For this particular family, it was $1 million. You can access it at any time, tax-free, no penalties, no fees. You can save it for retirement. If you need it before retirement, it's still there for you. It's yours. You can access it whenever you want to. So, when we think about the benefits of the Debt-Free Life program, there's so many of them, but I know for me personally, the peace of mind was the biggest one. Just knowing like, hey, we were able to buy a house. I wasn't sure that we were going to be able to do that. But we were. And now because of Debt-Free Life, we're going to pay it off in 8.5 years. And then this is crazy. So like when we pay it off, like 6 months later, my oldest son's going to be off to college. Well, with Debt-Free Life, you're paying off your debt and you're accumulating all this savings. So we're going to be able to have our house paid off and have enough to send our son to college without him having to worry about student loans. I mean, that's some peace of mind for me, and we're going to be set for retirement too. So that's the one I love to kind of focus on. Jordan, do you want to go over some of the rest of these here that you've seen?
I just, some of the things that I've definitely seen is that in our process and all the families we've helped, it is never too late. Mm-hmm. And there's no too much debt that qualifies you for Debt-Free Life. And that is honestly one of my most favorite things is I've had people come to me and be like, I just don't think I'm going to be able to qualify for this Debt-Free Life program because I've got a lot more debt than the person that you showed on there. And I feel like just welcome open arms, like come to me. I can't wait to show you what's going to happen because remember, we're talking about compound interest here and earning it. The more debt you have, the faster this works for you. And just to bring, I'll finish reading the rest, but you'll actually get to hear of some examples of somebody who had a ton of debt and getting out of debt like that because of the fact of how this product really works. We had a client who was 60, wanted to retire at 65, had a lot of debt, like almost 20 lines of debt at 60. Wants to retire at 65, couldn't see the ability of getting out of debt because of the fact that they had so much, which is, hey, come see me. You know what I mean? We'll see what we can do. And they're going to be out of debt by 65. Do you know what kind of joy and hope that brings someone? I love this. So so you get out of debt in 9 years, less than 9 years. You can learn how to prioritize your accounts. I had a friend of mine who's using the Debt-Free Life program, and she asked me, should I do this with my money? Should I pay it off now, cash? Or should I use my Debt-Free Life product and just make sure it works best for me? I'm like, you know the answer. She was like, no, you're right. I just had to call you to make sure I'm going to use my Debt-Free Life instead of paying cash for things. And I'm like, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So I think dramatically increasing your savings, $1 million is pretty dramatic. And retiring with tax favored income. When those people get to retire in 5 years, they're going to have freed up income that is tax favored. Hallelujah. I love this. So let's see if we can watch some people say some stuff here. Y'all have heard enough from us. Let's watch Lee. Yeah, let's watch Lee and his and Alexandra, I think is her name.
Yes. Okay. Let me get
y'all got listen to this. This is big time. Oh, this is
okay. Let me do this one. Then we'll do it.
That's fine. Yeah, I like this one too.
What's your name?
Jacob Hawkinson.
And Amanda Hawkinson. And where do y'all live? Hagerstown, Maryland. How much debt are y'all carrying? $161,398. And before Debt-Free Life, how long would it have taken you to pay off your debt?
About 38.2 years.
Now, with Debt-Free Life, how quickly will you pay it off?
years.
And how much interest will you save?
$28,220.
How much retirement income will you create?
$1.4 million.
And last but not least, how does this make you feel?
Pretty amazing.
I love that guy's face.
He gets so excited. I love it. I love it. All right, let's see. Do you want to do one more?
Yeah, one more.
Okay. We got to. Let's see. Sorry, I should have just pulled it up.
No, you're good.
Let's see. I think this one is Lee.
Only one way to find out, I think. Let's see.
Hey everybody, it's DJ Debt-Free. I'm here with Michelle Vogel. So you originally were going to have your debt paid off in 27 years, right?
Right.
How many years are we going to have it paid off now?
6.2.
6.2 years down from 27 years. How much interest are we saving?
$141,473.
How do you feel right now?
Excited, happy, and I feel like a weight has been lifted off my back.
Oh man. Give me some.
So awesome. Man, I mean, this is what we get to do. I love it so
I
much.
got chill bumps. Every week I get chill bumps because of the impact that we have the opportunity to be here. Oh, okay, we're good.
But sorry, I thought I'd pause it. My bad.
No,
I'll
yeah.
be okay. Sorry. Where am I?
You're almost there.
I'm having
No, but you
technical
probably-
difficulties.
Yeah, last week you missed it. The one I didn't record. Probably should have tried to re-record. I didn't even know how to record it. Jared's like all R. So I was
Okay.
trying to figure it out.
It worked. It works. Okay, so here. Anyway, so this is something we love to do. We love to talk about debt-free Knox impact. This is with Jordan and I and our little neck of the woods. And I say neck of the woods, but because of the pandemic, one kind of positive thing that has come out is we don't just work with people in the East Tennessee, Knoxville area. Like, we get to work with people all over the country. I mean, it's so crazy. I'm so thankful for that. New Jersey, Florida, Texas, Oregon, all over, Indiana, Ohio. I mean, everywhere. It's so exciting. I mean, and really, America is in debt, and we've got a solution. Like,
Yes.
to help as many people as possible. Okay. Anyway, so let's talk about.
Let's see it. Boom. Just between Betsy and I will say Betsy does a lot of the legwork because I'm helping a lot of life insurance, throwing that out there. So this is mostly her work, but thankfully I can say I'm a part of it.
You are part of it, girl.
We have eliminated $9.3 million plus worth of debt. I love it.
Love it.
We have also saved our families $1.6 million plus worth of interest. That's just money in your bank account, not being paid to someone else.
That's right.
Let's go further. One more. $29 million plus in projected retirement.
And it's almost 30. Like, we're almost at 30 million.
I love this. Okay, but wait, there's one better one. The last one's my favorite. 6.7 years is the average time that our families are getting out of debt. 6.7. Can you see 6.7 years in the future? Could you imagine being out of debt in 6.7 years? Totally 100%, no mortgage, no nada. That is what our families on average are doing. And I can't get enough. Oh, $0 added to our family's budgets. I love it.
We love it. Well, hopefully you can tell that Jordan and I, we get pretty excited about this. We're just a little bit passionate about it. And we love to just talk with people about it and just be like, hey, how would this work for you? What would this look like for you in your situation? And so, if you're thinking, okay, these are great numbers, but what does it mean for me?
Right.
Just let us know. You can sign up for a time with us at our calendar link, calendly.com/debtfreeknox. You can shoot us a text if you got our number. You can contact us on Facebook through our Debt Free Knox page. And we'll just have a quick conversation of, hey, what's your situation? Let's show you what it could look like for you. And as always, we're here every Thursday talking about debt-free life. Bring a friend. If you know someone that's in debt, let us come on, we're here. You can sign up on our website, debtfreeknox.com. We also post those there through YouTube, so you can check it out later if you'd like to kind of rewatch or anything. But we're here. We want to talk to you about debt-free life. We're super passionate about it. We've seen it change so many families. We've seen it have such a positive impact on so many people and just create financial freedom for people's futures. And just in a way that just seems to make sense to people. It doesn't change their lifestyle. It doesn't put pressure on them. It just takes away that pressure and it provides hope. And what a joy that is. I mean, man, like this, we get to do this for a living. I mean, oh my gosh, I just love it so much. So anyways, Jordan, thanks for joining us. It's always such a pleasure to be able to work with you. Everyone who came on and joined us tonight, we so appreciate you being here. Jordan, anything else to add?
Nope. I mean, honestly, I feel like if I add to it, I'll take away from it. So you guys have a good night. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And we'll either see you soon or we'll see you next week. See you guys.
Bye-bye.